Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Stay firm. Sending that right foot back. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I'm so very glad that you've decided to join me today. Today we're doing something a little bit different. I don't have a mat under me today. We are going to be doing a seated yoga practice or a chair practice. This class is kind of intended for being done during your lunch break, or maybe taking a break from studying, taking a break from sitting and looking at your computer, or if you're just wanting a more gentle practice today, sitting down and not being on our wrists, this will be a great practice for you. So if you're like me and your feet kind of hang in your chair, I recommend having blocks or maybe shoes on to help with that, so that we're feeling a little bit more grounded in our practice and not so all over the place. We're going to start with some cat-cows. So we can either, if you have arms to your chair, bring your hands to the arms or bring them to your desk, or set them down on your knees. With a big breath in, we'll lift the chest, sending the abdomen forward. Exhale, curling back through the spine, bringing chin to chest, and arching back, moving back and forth with the breath. And coming back to our neutral spine. Now we're going to bring our left ankle up on top of our right knee. So gently pressing down into that left knee. And find a little bit of hip opening on this side. Now if you do not need shoes on in this moment, or if you're at a place that you could take your shoes off, we can intertwine our fingers with our toes and find some looping around of the ankle as well. If you're in shoes and you're somewhere where you have to keep your shoes on, that's okay too. You don't have to interlock the toes. You can just focus on circling the ankle around. Beautiful. Letting go of the foot and letting it go back to a more neutral or a flexed position where we're pointed out towards the front of the body. And again, we're pressing down through that left knee. We can stay here if we'd like, or we can hug the leg up a little bit closer towards the body, either wrapping the arms around and bringing it in, or maybe setting it up against your desk so that we're finding a variation to our pigeon pose. Now, if you have the space, you can lean the chest forward towards that leg, or you could stay here again, pressing down on that knee, finding a variation that feels good for you and your situation today. Lowering that leg back down. And again, maybe hinging forward here with that lower space. And now sitting back up and moving the foot off. We'll do the other side. Bringing the right foot across the left. If we can have our shoes off, we'll intertwine our fingers with our toes and circle the ankle around. Gently press down on the right knee. letting go of the toes, pressing down. Now we can find that variation to our pigeon pose again. We can either set the leg against our desk to rest here, or we can hug it into the chest, or we can stay where it was and press down on the right knee. Maybe softening the chest a little bit closer towards the leg by hinging at the waist. Setting that leg back down and hinging forward from the waist again. Good. Lifting the chest up, we'll remove the right leg and we'll sit up tall through the spine. So again, if we have arms, we can keep them there if that's comfortable to you, or we can bring them to the lap. We're going to roll out the neck a little bit, bringing the left ear to the left shoulder. We'll roll down through center, bringing chin to chest. As we come across, right ear towards the right shoulder, back through center, chin to chest. Over to the left side. We'll do these half circles back and forth. Now the next time that we're over at one of our ears, we're going to complete the rotation of our circle by softening the head back slightly. We're not dropping the head. We have a lot of important things that go on in the back of the neck, and we don't want to squish them. So we take the eyes up a little bit towards the ceiling, maybe towards where the wall and the ceiling meet as we rotate around to the other ear, dropping down towards center. Lifting the eyes slightly, keeping long through the top of the head so we're strong through the neck as we roll. Now switching directions, circling the neck out the other way. Bringing the eyes forward again. Continuing with this circular movement, we'll move to the rib cage. So we can either bring the hands to the ribs or we can keep them down. But bringing the hands to the ribs brings a little bit more of that mind-body connection to help us focus on where we're moving from. So we're gonna find some circles here, trying to keep the lower body where it is. Just moving with the rib cage and above, softening forward, around, and back. Switching directions, circling around the other way. And back to center. So we're going to circle again, this time lower. So we're going to move the hips around in a circle. Now, this may be easier with your feet on the floor. This may be easier depending on what kind of surface your chair is on. If your chair does not move at all, it may be easier than moving a whole chair around. But circling the hips in a circle, big concentric movements. Circling around the other direction again. and back to center again, resetting. If you scooted wild while doing that like I did, coming back to neutral. Now, no work break, study break, lunch break is complete without focusing a little bit on breath and bringing us to a more calm space. So we're going to do some belly breathing here, because it can be done seated. No one will notice that you're doing it if you're in an office. But sitting up tall through the spine, pressing down through our sit bones and down through the feet, so we're feeling grounded in this space. With our big breath in, we'll imagine that the belly is like a balloon, filling with air, pressing that abdomen out. And with our exhale, constricting that balloon, pressing the air back out through the lungs. Big breath in, filling the belly with air. Exhale to let it out. Pulling the belly button in, pressing the air. Beautiful. If you want to end your practice there so that you can get on with your day, that is completely fine. Otherwise, we'll do just a little bit of core and hip flexors and then maybe some chest opening before I end this class. A great way to do it while at a desk is to find some marching, because your legs are probably under a desk and no one will see it. But we'll lift one leg up and set it back down. Back and forth, lifting one leg up and setting it back down, back and forth. And we can hold as long here as we'd like. We can really feel out those hip flexors if we decide to keep the leg up for a while. We'll move back and forth at whatever pace feels right. Now, if you want to add a little bit more, you can extend the leg fully out with our marches. I do this in meetings when I start feeling like I'm going to fall asleep, because it energizes the mind to do the repetitive opposite movements. Setting the feet back down. Now our next one can be done with very different adaptations depending on where you are. If you have a desk in front of you, that's a great way to do it. We could stay seated in our chair. We'll take our elbows out onto the desk. We can either lay them flat out in front of us or interlock all fingers but the pointer, and then drop the chest through. If we don't have a desk in front of us, and we're able to stand and move around our chair, we can bring both hands to the back of the chair or to a stable surface. We'll drop the chest between, and find a chest opener. Stretch out the fronts of the shoulders and the arms. And with our inhale, pulling the spine, the back up through the arms. Now, I'm so very glad that you decided to join me today. I hope this helped you feel a little bit better, but do be sure to get up and walk around every once in a while. That helps so much as well, gets you moving and gets you re-energized and brings in new creative thoughts. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love and go in light.